Groot is one of those Marvel rival characters you have a quick glance at and you're wondering, why is Groot so good? Like, why are there players out there which are completely dominating the team fights where he doesn't really have a movability ability or has an ability which helps with tanking, right? He cannot put down shields, he cannot heal. So, what makes Groot this tanky and so good in fights? Let me explain. One of the main reasons is, of course, the walls. They are super important. I will refer to them now as the shift wall, which is the thorn wall, and the E wall, which is the ironwood wall. And they're basically the small and big wall. And yes, they can be very important to split off the enemy team and, well, if you are doing it wrong, your own team. But they can be so important in teamfights. You see it right here. I walled off this bot, and now he has to destroy this wall or has to find another path. And those are valuable seconds your team can utilize. But of course, there's much more to it than just putting down some walls. The most important part is that when Groot is around, he will awaken the walls. What's that supposed to mean? How do I know that the walls are awakened, and what does it mean when they say must be around? Well, you can see it actually here a little bit in the shadows. It's much easier to see in the dark. There is a green yellowish circle around Groot. That is the range of the awakening you can put on your walls. And that is in numbers 20 meters. Yes, this is a 20-meter circle around you. And the good news is, to awaken a wall, you just have to be in a 20-meter radius. You do not have to have line of sight that they are staying awakened. Okay, what else? Well, they also show you that they are awakened when you are just looking at them. Let me walk out of range here very quickly. And you can see that this wall in particular is now pretty plain. And when you're getting closer, there will be ranks and some moss growing on the top, and you know this wall is now active. The iron wall, the E wall, is a little bit harder to see because it just moves the brambles outward, and that's about it. But yeah, those are the best cues you can go for if you want to know if you're in range, if you cannot see this super light circle. I have to admit, in the first rounds, I didn't even notice that there was a circle around Groot, so that's something you have to look out for. But what are the walls doing now? So what are the walls doing respectively? Well, the shift wall is super simple and there's not much to it. Whenever you are hitting an enemy, you will actually do some extra melee damage when the enemy is close by. Keep in mind, this is a melee attack. So if they are too far away, the wall will not attack. This is why you have that many walls, that you can actually put them down when you need to, so that you can make sure that you are getting in the extra damage. Now let's talk about the E-wall. Now the E-wall is very different. It's a completely defensive wall and it is there to give you bonus health. Whenever you are hitting an enemy, after 1.5 second internal cooldown, you can see it right there, I'm building up bonus health up to a maximum of 1100 health, which is the highest health pool without ultimate in Marvel Rivals right now. Now, the interesting part here is that, well, I'm doing the attacking right now. You don't have to. It is completely fine that when you are in the awakening range of the wall and the allies of you are also in your awakening range, and they will now start to build up extra health whenever they are hitting an enemy. And no, as you can see, the enemy is not in the awakening range. So it is completely enough to have your allies and your walls in an awakening range, and then you will gain the benefit. Besides of the shift wall. The shift wall functions a little bit differently. I have tried to figure out what the range is exactly, but as you can see right here, even though my Galacta bot is hitting the other one, the shift wall is not triggering, so I assume they have to be much closer that it actually works. And I don't really know what exactly that range is, but if I would put a shift wall down here, right, and the enemy spawns, they will automatically attack. So that works. I don't really know what the trigger is for the shift wall, I completely admit that, but it is much shorter than it is for the E wall. And that opens up, as I said, a lot of possibilities on how to handle it and to position the E-wall. So you don't have to always use this as a blocker. You can also just put the E-wall somewhere hidden and then make sure that you are slowly farming up the extra health. Also, important, your walls are triggering with damage. It doesn't matter how much damage you do, and that's really important for the ultimate, because your ultimate is doing a lot of damage, and that is, of course, triggering every time your walls. So make sure that you're putting down a lot of shift walls and your E-wall, then you're using your ultimate to get the most out of the wall play. And that's really the main aspect of Groot. Positioning your walls, get the most out of them when they are awakened, not just as a blocker, but actually as a tool to make you tankier and also dish out quite a bit of damage people don't see coming. And that is why Groot is this strong right now, even though he doesn't have a movability ability and he does not have like a special protect your allies ability. If you are not counting the walls you can put down to block certain attacks, of course. With that said, I hope this video was helpful. If you still have some questions, please let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this video, I would appreciate if you leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Marvel Rivals videos, I would appreciate if you might subscribe. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
I am Groot.